Hello.
Braden Harrington here with Davey Portman for Up Next, live on Twitch. Yes, and if you're listening to this on delay, podcast version on the Patreon. But yeah, we stream this live.
Yeah, twitch.tv/upnextpodcast.
And let me tell you what I have on my mind.
What's that?
Money.
Money.
You're so money and you don't even know it. And speaking of people that are so money and they don't even know it, we're joined by a bunch of friends today on a podcast to talk all about money in the bank.
Oh, yes.
Tell me what you think.
This is top 5. We haven't done one of these for a while.
No, we haven't.
And we're going to be talking about moments, money in the bank moments in particular. And as you said, we are joined by some world champions. And let's start with someone you all know, Mr. Shot in the Dark himself, John Ceno Evil.
Hello, how's everybody doing? The Thunderdome might be long and gone, but it looks like we're going to continue this here in the Up Next Dome, I guess.
For now, yeah. Oh yeah, the Up Next Dome.
Be a different thing.
We can't afford to go on tour with this thing quite yet.
Not yet.
But
we planned on it.
We fired a few people. We're like cleaning those books up but one day soon we'll be on the road and can do one of these things in person.
Ceno Evil, Shot in the Dark. Of course, you cover all the other wrestling. I can see you're in an MLW hat, and I know you didn't go alone because you're joined here by your partner in crime, Mr. Fire Frank.
Yo, what's going on? Twitch chat room, everyone.
Hello, Frank.
Up next first.
How have you been, man? You've been to some wrestling and everyone's jealous.
Yeah, we haven't had one since you stole the show Up Next
show
Mania.
Stealer. Show Stealer, Fire Frank. Well, he's doing.
Yeah, everything is good, man. I'm going to shows again. Everything's great right now.
He's in a happy time. He's having an Up Next summer.
He is having an Up Next summer.
Someone else I know who's having an Up Next summer. You could say he's having an American summer. Mr. B America. Mr. B Detroit.
What up, though? What up, Twitch room? Shout out to the vaccination out here. What's going on, guys? I'm happy to be back on Twitch with you, man. This is a good time.
It's been a while, yeah. You mentioned it's good to be vaccinated. You've literally just come back from your vaccine, right?
Just had the needle put on my arm.
Oh,
Fresh out of my arm. Yeah, arm's still sore, son.
So you're hurting today. You're gonna be
Nah,
feeling
we're
all
good.
sorts of type of ways.
We're good. We're 100%.
100%. Well, we'll see how you are later in the evening. Also, someone who will be joining us this Sunday from Money in the Bank Watch Along is Mr. Jared Black, all the way over in Australia. I think it's breakfast time there, right, Jared?
Oi, oi.
Boys, it is not an up next summer. It is an Australian winter. I got the Ric Flair robe going on to keep me warm. And hey, I'm here with the pillars. I feel like I see John's shirt there, the pillars of the Post Wrestling Network. These feels like the pillars of the Up Next universe with all these guys. I've heard these names. I've seen a couple of these faces. It's good to be amongst familiar company with you guys.
Well, thank you for supporting us and joining us all the way from the other side of the world. And we've had you on for some great shows here, but it's cool to have you on Twitch. And I'm sure you're getting ready for Money in the Bank this Sunday. Are you going to be wearing the robe for that, for Charlotte Flair?
I think I'm going to have to. It's a little greenish, so it's the color of money, baby.
So you're going to go for the Flair over the Aussie?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I think that's one match that I'll use the bathroom for and see how I go, and I'll keep the robe on for the actual Money in the Bank match.
Well, he said the robe's greenish, so clearly he's supporting Rhea Ripley. And then we're also joined by, someone I know kind of pretty well. He was my opponent at Up Next Mania. We've since squashed the beef. I've apologized to his kids, and he's agreed to join us on a Twitch stream again. Hello, Mr. Chris Elliott.
How's it going, guys?
We're good.
We're good.
How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Have you recovered? Are you still in mourning following your defeat at Up Next Mania?
That's what's caused the breakdown to the point I've had to cut my hair. So
Right. Oh no, it's like, didn't that happen with Daniel Bryan after he fought the Fiend? He had a haircut.
Damn.
So maybe Braden's our very own Fiend.
I'm sorry I've done that to you. But at least you look good.
But
I feel good.
that's good. But it is Money in the Bank week. But Shark Week also continues.
Oh, shit.
So we can't do a show without some shark facts. So guys, did you know that sharks do not have bones?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that?
Did any of you know that?
About sharks?
I'm
Are any of you
shocked.
celebrating Shark Week?
How's everyone's Shark Week been? Has anyone done anything sharky?
Now, I'm just kind of shocked at how they don't have the bones. What are the teeth made out of? Razors or hate?
The razors of hate.
They're not hateful, okay? Only if they're provoked.
Only if provoked, yes.
Whatever you say.
Samoa Joes of the sea.
If you bleed. So it doesn't sound like you guys are too into Shark Week. It doesn't sound like it's
a
catching
shame.
on.
We're
loving
trying
it.
our best.
We're
We're having a
loving it.
great Shark Week. My hat is like a shark's fin.
Sharkboard.
So yeah, it's Money in the Bank. You're gonna be doing a watch along for Slammiversary, and you're gonna be doing a watch along for Money in the Bank and post shows and all that stuff. So if you're on the Twitch stream, hello Twitch people, but join us for that as well on the weekend, and some of you guys will be there too. But Money in the Bank, it's been a kind of a cool concept. That when you kind of think of it, it either goes one way. It's like this idea where a guy has a briefcase, and we didn't really know what it was until we had the Edge first cash in, because we didn't really know how it worked. They didn't say it. So all these like independent feds all over like the world do this gimmick and rip it off. In fact,
yeah.
I think AEW should do it with their ring thing, or not the ring, but
The Sonic Ring?
yeah, it should be something else, like something.
Poker chip.
Yeah, poker chip. That's what it should be.
Chip.
And you get to cash in like and get a contract. I think it's a very smart gimmick, and to eventually like have it where it became an actual annual event, and we'll get into some moments throughout it. Like I think it's a pretty good gimmick that is one of the last good gimmicks for a while. Like what
Yes.
have they come up with since then? Punjabi prison matches.
Yeah, I can't-
Nigerian drum matches.
Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool concept.
I do, because it can really shake things up. It's a great way of strapping the rocket to someone.
Yeah.
It's been often used when I feel things are getting a bit stale, and also just has that intrigue. You go into a pay-per-view, and could there be a cash-in tonight? Could we be seeing a cash-in this Sunday at Money in the Bank?
The things, there's a few. So I guess we can go into some top fives because how did you want to throw to someone specifically? Because
Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'm going to go round the table and you're just going to give me your top 5 in order. And once we've seen them all, we'll see what kind of ones keep coming up, and we'll see maybe some unique ones, and we can discuss about each thing in a bit more detail.
Perfect.
But let's start with Mr. Shot in the Dark right there. Cino.
Let's get right down to it.
Yeah, let's get right down to it. Starting with your number 5. What are your top 10? Sorry, what is your number 5 best Money in the Bank moment?
So I wanted to include not only like things at the Money in the Bank like events, not only times the briefcase itself was cashed in, but also when just the briefcase was on TV. So my number 5 is the moment that whenever I need to laugh, I just put it on, and that is Brock Lesnar dancing with the briefcase like a boombox, with the hoodie on, dancing in the ring. This thing became a meme, a GIF. It even became a T-shirt somehow that I own. I just love that. Boombox Brock in 2019 was like one of the funniest moments I remember with the briefcase. That alone made the briefcase seem important by having Brock Lesnar holding number 1, but just to see him dancing with it was hilarious. Number
people off.
Oh yeah. Actually, let's go round and see everyone's top 5, but then we will break it down more after. I think that will make more sense. So let's go to Jared as you're next on the Twitch stream. What is your number 5?
I completely forgot about the Brock party, John, so I'm so glad that you reminded me of it. I would say that, I also try to include a little bit of both cash-ins, both matches, both things from the pay-per-view. The Money in the Bank 2010, it was the first Money in the Bank proper pay-per-view, and I really wanted to focus on an actual match. So I went through them, and to be honest, there's a lot of Money in the Bank matches that are a little bit ho-hum and not the greatest in the world, not the most special. But the 2010 Money in the Bank match, Randy Orton, Mark Henry, Evan Bourne, one of those ones was one of the more solid overall matches where all the guys got some of the biggest spots. Everyone got time to shine. And of all the actual full matches of the Money in the Bank, that's one of the best. So that's my number 5.
I think it was Evan Bourne doing a shooting star, like off
the ladder
and to everyone.
And Mark Henry doing lots of cool stuff, I'm sure.
He did some stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, didn't think I'd be hearing Mark Henry on top 5 Money in the Bank moments, but Chris Elliott, let's go to your number 5 there.
So my number 5, I went back to last year, and not the actual Money in the Bank match because that was shockingly bad, but I went to the night after. And the reveal of the women's Money in the Bank, where Becky comes out with the briefcase, and Asuka comes out and they announce it that it wasn't for a Money in the Bank contract, it was for the Raw Women's Championship because Becky was pregnant.
Yeah,
And,
It was a cool moment.
I kind
actually
of
liked
completely
that,
forgot, but that moment was really nice, and Asuka was kind of so. Treated it so beautifully, I thought, when Becky announced.
She was genuinely excited.
Yeah.
To be handed this.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that in the last. Where's Becky showing up?
Becky, maybe SummerSlam, perhaps.
Possible.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe she's in the Money in the Bank
Oh,
match.
shit. That'd be
That
crazy.
extra spot.
And then she's given the title.
Maybe. Big B, Cool Gang Big B, Brian, what is your number 5?
My number 5 would have to be Shelton Benjamin's bridge ladder jump.
Hell yeah.
Right.
And that's, I think that was the first Money in the Bank match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs up it, right?
Right, he runs up it, and they put that spot in the video games. And it's one of my favorite spots in any video game or any ladder match ever. So Shelton, my number 5.
No push for Shelton
Good
either,
call.
right? Remember
No push.
Primetime Elix Skipper does a Rana off a cage, no push.
Yep.
Shelton steals the show, runs up a ladder, no push.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? And finally, Fire Frank. Let's see your number 5.
Well, it's good. I think B just kind of stole my thunder because I was going to talk about one of those Shelton spots. Let's give love to Shelton, but I'll give you one of my backups here.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I mean, look, we can talk more about Shelton because I'm sure we're gonna have more.
Yeah, I love Shelton.
come up.
I mean,
So-
Shelton was the star like the first 5 or 6 Money in the Bank matches basically until Kofi kind of came along and took his thunder. But yeah, he talked about that bridge spot. There was also a spot, I forget which year it was, where he just jumped from the ropes to the ladder like out of nowhere, and Lawler was like, "Oh my God, he's like Spider-Man."
Yeah, there was the one where he also like falls off a ladder, through a ladder, and it looks like he just dies. It's actually like, why did you do that spot? It's kind of ridiculous. He's definitely was like the MVP of these things for quite a while. He was in a bunch of them, but definitely the first one stands out for me with Shelton.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you create a top 5 or a?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna just riff off everyone else's
Yeah.
here, but I would say that my Zoom just shit on me. Give me one sec. Go to someone else.
Okay. Yeah. So let me give my number 5. I put the Carmella cash in from the SmackDown after WrestleMania. Was it 33 in Orlando? It was the debut of the Iconics, taking out Charlotte Flair, and then Carmella runs in. The reason why I like this one so much is Mike Chioda is so funny in this moment. Go back
Recording
and watch
stopped.
this cash in, and is everything okay?
Invite me back. Into
Okay,
Zoom.
1 second, guys. Technical issues.
Yeah, no, that one is super funny and kind of forgettable.
Mike Yoda forgot how to be a
Recording
referee.
stopped, so I need to get you to record again.
Recording in progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Mike Chioda there is so funny because she's like, I want to cash in, and he's going, what? Sorry, you what? You want to do what? Are you sure? She's like, yes. Well, I mean, really? Tonight? Yes, I want to cash in. Well, okay then. Slowly walks over to the timekeeper. It's so funny, and it's like not as remembered that one, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Of the ones mentioned there, guys, does anyone else has anyone got like the Brock Lesnar dancing with the briefcase in their list? Has anyone got the first Money in the Bank match with Mark Henry? Any crossovers there with your lists?
I got certain spots from those matches, but not those
Right.
specific things. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to a number 4.
thanks.
I want to hear from Chris on your list here. What was that?
So my number 4, I've predominantly gone for cash-ins.
Yep.
So mine is RVD cashing in his Money in the Bank on John Cena at ECW One Night Stand 2. The atmosphere that night was electric. And Cena walking into the Lion's Den, the Hammerstein Ballroom, yeah?
Yeah.
And the great match, and then the finish with Van Dam winning, and them pronouncing it the ECW champion.
Yeah, honestly, that whole pay-per-view for me is awesome. Obviously, the 2005 one is like super ECW, and the 2006 one was like a bit watered down. But that whole angle with RVD Cena, I was so involved in. I was super in. I have the poster. And I was just telling you, I'm getting it framed right now. Actually,
Nice.
I found it. It's where RVD's falling from Money in the Bank. Actually, so I love that he's the babyface. It's not a babyface gimmick because you can't just pin someone when they're out, because that's kind of like a bad guy thing to do. So to announce when you're doing it, like in your own territory, it just fit perfectly. So it's.
And I think there've only been 3 who've cashed in like ahead of time, right? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Cena did
Cena,
it as
definitely.
well, and Braun.
Yeah.
I
That was a
think.
throw, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who's done it.
Yeah. What about you, Jared? What's number 4 on yours?
The only thing that ruined that RVD cash in for me was motorcycle helmet edge and taking away the momentum from RVD. So that was going to be on my list, but I actually went another moment Edge kind of stole was Edge winning the first Money in the Bank in 2005. It's when the concept was its first novel. People didn't really know what to make of it. It's one of those things that like once someone wins the match, people go, okay, like what now, sort of thing. And that initial intrigue, since they've really bastardized it now, like, you know, we're going to do this watch along for the Money in the Bank, and I'm super excited because I think this sort of match type, something like this, something like Elimination Chamber, something like the Royal Rumble, is always good. It's a great gimmick. It's an excellent, you want to see what happens afterwards. But that initial win, that initial inaugural feeling of being able to see a new concept match, and especially at a WrestleMania, it was a WrestleMania 21, that was awesome. That started the whole thing off, and Edge was the right guy to put it on. Obviously, he went and did massive things with it, and he became 10 times the character and the wrestler that he was, and is now Hall of Famer. And obviously, it wouldn't mean anything for him to come back recently if he didn't start from that upwards trajectory that the Money in the Bank gave him. So that's my number 4, Edge winning in WrestleMania 21.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I think, honestly, I would put that as probably my number 1. Because, like...
The Money in the Bank win or the cash-in?
Yeah. The cash-in. Because the cash-in, I remember watching the pay-per-view, Cena wins, it's over, and then Vince comes out, and he's like, actually, we're not done here. This guy's cashing in. And everyone's like, wait, can he do that? He can do that.
Yeah, no one really knew exactly what the kind of gimmick meant.
So then the match starts, he spears him, and he kicks out. And then he spears him again, and he pins him. And it's like, wait, what? Like, it was insane. I remember losing my mind. There's been some crazy cash-ins since, but that one, to me, is like the first time it's definitely, like, stuck in my mind. It's definitely up there. It has to be talked about. I'm sure that's on some other people's lists here, but should we go to Cena with number 4?
Yeah, let's go to Cena.
And we're going to talk right about it again. And this moment when Edge first cashed in at the New Year's Revolution 2006, everything you guys said, Jared and Braden, like the fact that nobody knew what was going on, the fact that Vince was out there to kind of announce it, everybody was confused, like what's going to happen. This realistically would be higher up on my list if the other 3 choices weren't like personal for me. This would definitely be like up there. But just like something new, something fresh, and just like you had this briefcase and you knew the kind of concept, but you didn't know exactly how it was going to work out. Like, I don't think anybody even knew that you could do it after a match. The rules still weren't like established just yet. So the fact that like this guy just had an Elimination Chamber match against 5 other guys and he has to fight somebody else, like that was like surreal at the time. So that moment, you know, you can never replicate that unless you come up with a brand new concept, which, like you guys said at the beginning, is so hard to do nowadays. But when that first happened, it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go next and say not like an actual like spot in a match or a cash-in, but the entrance of Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank.
The
that
events.
For me, at Money in the Bank in Chicago, the Punk entrance and the Cena entrance, both are like incredible moments in that pay-per-view's history.
Similar to the RVD Cena atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously, the match itself is one of the like great WWE main roster matches of all time.
Of course.
But the entrances specifically as a moment really stand out to me because that crowd is crazy.
I agree, and everyone loves that event. It's not quite the Money in the Bank briefcase, but that event happens to be the one with that match that everyone loves. Fire Frank, what about you?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you brought up that Money in the Bank in Chicago. I figured everybody was going to talk about, you know, Cena and Punk, which was obviously one of the all-time great moments. But I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go to the undercard of the same show. I'm going to talk about Christian against Randy Orton. And the reason I'm going to talk about this, number one, is the feud, of course, was actually one of my favorites in the last probably 10 years or so. The way they went from Edge's retirement, Christian finally winning the title, Orton immediately taking it from him, and then beating him again, which made him just kind of like slowly lose his mind. Keep asking for one more match. They had like 4 they had like 4 pay-per-views in a row, but they're all very different. They all built very well. But at this particular show, Christian had basically conned Randy into accepting the stipulation that if Randy was DQ'd, he would lose the title. So the whole psychology of the match is basically Christian trying to get Randy to get himself disqualified.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the match, you know, Christian's kind of like trying everything, nothing's working. He's not able to beat him, so he just kind of, out of desperation, he just rears back and spits an Orton right in the face, which obviously it wouldn't be very cool in 2021, but the way he just spit in his face, the spit's like dripping down his face. It's like so perfect. And then Orton's like reaction, he just swung like, what? and he just goes berserk, starts punching him in the corner. Referee tries to bag him up, and then Orton just kind of just rears back and punches him right in the egg, as it were. Shout out vasectomies. Yeah, so I thought that was a very cool ending. That the referee just looks at him, he just rings the bell, then the crowd's like, "Huh?" And, like, you just slowly realize what just happened. Christian's on the floor, like holding up the title. Orton goes ballistic again and just beats him half to death. RKO's him through the table. It was a really cool moment. Not something people probably would mention, so I figured I'd throw it in there.
Nice,
They had a good rivalry, actually. They had
Yeah.
a really good rivalry. I thought they had great chemistry. I like that they went with that angle to give him. I think he's like a three-time champ.
It's definitely both those guys. You talk about Christian's best opponents in WWE in singles. Randy definitely springs to mind right at the top, and I think you'd say the same about Randy as well.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
Great chemistry between the two.
B Detroit, your number 4.
My number 4 is my list is predominantly spots. So my number 4 is Ric Flair taking that superplex from Matt Hardy off the top.
Oh yeah, holy.
That was WrestleMania 22, and like my family at that time, my family all still watched wrestling. So like the women, the children, everybody was there, and everybody thought Rick was dead. So it was a real nice moment.
They like wheeled him out of there, if I'm not mistaken. And he came
It was the first like
old.
death and comeback in the Money in the Bank match. Like
very cool.
he got take out, came back. So yeah, Ric Flair taking the superplex.
And then like that, the next that was WrestleMania 22.
With RVD won.
Yeah, he would still wrestle for a few more years, obviously, but taking a ladder bump at that age looked nasty. Yeah, it's like when
He
Terry
took 2
Funk in
ladder
ECW.
bumps in that match.
Yeah, he took a bunch, if I remember. Yeah, that's insane.
And he's still the oldest person to compete in a Money in the Bank, I think.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Will soon be overtaken by most of the main roster. Like next year's Money in the Bank, they'll all probably be older than Flair. Who shall we go for now? We're going to number 3.
Yeah, let's go to number 3. I want to hear what Jared has to say on his list.
Guys, this is where I think it starts getting really tricky. The top 3 things, it depends on what sort of mood you are. It depends on what really sticks out that day and what has the most meaning. And I think this one's going to be really controversial, but I'm going this 3 and not number 1 because we've already kind of mentioned it a little bit. But John Cena versus CM Punk in 2011. Yes, the entrance was probably the hottest part. The match was fantastic. And, of course, Punk blowing that kiss right at the end to Vince. It was one of those things that I knew was a work, and I knew that Punk would be back, immediately. They weren't going to put the title and make that big of a deal without having him signed up and ready to go, and it was only a matter of time till he came back on TV. But that moment after the match where Punk posts on Twitter that picture of the title in the fridge, and he subsequently goes around to a couple of indie appearances and, just makes a really realistic deal about it. That the match was perfection, the atmosphere was perfection. I haven't felt a genuine moment around a match and a rivalry and anything like that in quite some time. That holds a special spot in my heart, regardless of Money in the Bank or not. It's just a moment in wrestling history. So yeah, but it's still only number 3 on my list. So yeah. That was my number 3.
Because clearly you love a lot of these other ladder matches or cash-ins that come. But no, great match. What about you, B Detroit? What's your number 3?
It's crazy that Jarek picked that, and we both have on green. So great minds think alike, and that was my number 3 as well. John Cena and CM Punk. Yeah, that was like peak smart mark for me. I was at my peak as being a mark. So yeah, that match. Other than everything else on my list, that was one of my top right there.
It was almost like Punk's won Money in the Bank and he's cashed in and all that, but it wasn't until like that moment that he instantly became like the guy and everything, and it worked. And they completely messed that up too, didn't they?
Booked him in a feud with Kevin Nash, was it? With Triple
everybody.
H? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. Very confusing.
Fire Frank, what's your number 3?
Sure. Since we're still talking about CM Punk, I'd like to throw in one for him as well. And we're going to talk about his first cash-in 2008. Just because I love the segment that it happened in, so that's why I really want to add this on the list. So it was like this, it was after the draft, and both titles were basically going to be on SmackDown because Triple H was WWE champion, he was drafted to SmackDown. Edge was world champion, was on SmackDown. So the segment goes, Edge comes out to gloat because he had cheated to beat Batista the night before. He talks for a while, and then he goes to leave, and Batista just comes out and proceeds to beat him all over the ring, just destroys him, lays him out, and he leaves. In a minute, and he's walking up the ramp, and all of a sudden Punk comes running out, music, he's got a referee with him, the case, he's ready to go. He just takes him out, 1, 2, 3. It was like one of the first times like a babyface did something like that. And it kind of worked because Edge had done it twice already, so it was like getting a taste of his own medicine. So I found that a cool segment.
It was like revenge on Edge from the babyface. But that's kind of, even in his documentary, his DVD, he was like, yeah, I won the title, but like, they didn't really.
They didn't really go with him properly, did they?
No, and it was kind of weak. Like, it's not as good for the babyface to do that, I think. It kind of dampens it a little bit. Who should we go to next? Who do we jump around to?
How about Chris Elliott? Let's go to Chris.
My number 3, it's one that's already been mentioned. It's the original cash-in, Edge on John Cena after the Chamber match at New Year's Revolution.
Yeah, anything you want to add to that? That's also my number 3 too, Chris.
I just thought, obviously you need to establish, as you guys have already said, you needed to establish the rules of it. And I know Edge was building up this thing, I'm going to cash in at WrestleMania. And then having Vince come out and say, this show isn't over. And brings out Edge, hands the briefcase to him, and then from there on, you anticipate, oh well, he's just gonna steamroller him, and then Cena kicks out, and you're thinking, oh shit, this is gonna be Super Cena all over again.
It was high tide Cena, Super Cena, yeah.
Yeah, and then he hits the spear again and pins him, and then the night after you get the celebration.
Oh yeah.
Does
that count as a Money in the Bank moment?
Yeah, I would have said that's a number 1 for sure.
I'll say it does.
Yeah, definitely.
But I said that just for, as you said, just for establishing the rules that this could happen at any time. It was great.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the top ones. Cino, I think you still have to give us your number 3.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to the celebration of the night before, I'm sure there's a joke in there about him making a deposit, but I'm not going to do it. My number 3, that's probably the only one that I actually was at, and I don't think anybody has picked this yet, when Dolph Ziggler cashed in against Alberto Del Rio in New Jersey the night after WrestleMania. That pop was humongous, and Ziggler never, ever got to that level again. And it's funny because it wasn't even the first time he won the championship. It was the second time. But just that pop and that reaction that he got, and just like Ziggler wasn't even that popular, but just I don't know what happened. Like something that night just escalated him.
The chants were out there. That's actually my number 2. But the chants were definitely. You'd listen to those shows, and I wasn't going to events then, but I just got back into wrestling and I was watching it, and there were always very audible chants with Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. And I think it almost helped that Raw was terrible. You had that Sheamus Randy Orton match where everyone's shitting on it, and then this was pretty much the one like big thing that came out of it. And yeah, I don't know why they didn't go further with Dolph. He had that unfortunate injury, which when you look back at his career, that's the only injury that I can really think of where he's been out, and it happened to happen during this title reign. I actually enjoyed that double turn they did with Del Rio as well, but they just never capitalized it. Dolph should have got his big win then as the babyface, and it was very puzzling. But Cino, you were actually at that Raw, you say?
Yeah, and the fact that he had AJ Lee and Big E, and you could just see like their reaction, how excited they were. Like that's always like the best thing when you have like their friends or partners that just feel just as happy as they are for having that moment. But yeah, that was like probably one of the best. And I don't think it's, as far as I know, I don't think they ever cashed in a Money in the Bank the day after Mania again. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure Frank can correct me on that one. But that was just like that kind of escalated the Raw after Mania. Like yeah, they're kind of hit or miss now, but like that era for the next couple of years, it was like the show to go to, obviously with the Fandango chants and everything. Like that just made it feel special.
I'd say something that hasn't been brought up, so I guess it could be like a number 2. I know it's probably someone's number 1. I think it's your number 1, but it's Seth Rollins cashing in. We talked about the Edge cash in, how we didn't know he could just cash in and have a match, like if the guy's in the ring. We also didn't know, hey, they're still fighting. I'm joining.
Cash in mid-match.
I'm going in the match. So they just have Lillian Garcia go, hey, this match is now a triple threat. Everyone in the arena knows it. Everyone watching home knows it, and we all understand what's going on. And he goes and snakes his way into that win, and I think that was pretty good. Realistically, that's number 2, but number 1 is him swinging the title.
Oh yeah, like he used to with the NXT.
Yeah, it scares me every time he does it. Yeah, I love that moment. What do you guys think of that moment?
That was great.
I've got that as my number 2.
Yeah.
All right, well, Chris, let's go. We're on to number 2. Let's hear it. What have you got to add for that cash in?
That night, because remember it was supposed to be Brock's last night with the company, and it was like, oh well, Roman's going to win, but nobody wanted Roman to win that night, and they kind of put themselves into a position where we're going to have a pretty unpopular finish to this show. So using the Money in the Bank to finish the night off and have a heel Seth Rollins almost having the babyface moment of quote unquote saving the title. It was a great moment, and just his run down the ring as soon as the music hits and he just belts it straight down that ramp. Still just it's such a great moment.
It's my number 1.
But you love it.
I was there for it, and I was super into Seth at the time, and I remember celebrating when he lost to Randy earlier on in the night, and I'm in a Seth shirt, and people going like, why? And I go, I think he's gonna cash in. Like, why else would he lose to Randy Orton? Like, they're building this guy up, and the match was actually great. I love that first match between Roman and Brock. I think it's fantastic. And then, as you said, Chris, it saved them in so many ways, because you took the title off Brock without him getting pinned. You tried to babyface Roman a bit more by having his moment get stolen, but also you sent the crowd home happy because they really didn't want to see Roman be the champion that night. So it was a win-win moment, and I love when you watch that the clip of Seth pinning Roman, where he goes, "Thank you so much."
Yeah.
Because they're boys, they're brothers, they were the Shield, and that's such a. I like when you see a little bit behind the curtain. Who else? I'm sure someone else had this in their list, guys. Who else had Seth's cash in at Mania?
Yeah, definitely on my list.
It was my number 1.
Yeah. I figured you guys.
Honestly, my number 1 was probably either going to be that or the first Edge cash in. So.
All right. Well,
good call.
Let's go to everyone else's number 2 and see what we haven't touched on in the list at all. Let's go with who did we just go with for number 2?
Me. I've just done number 2.
Okay, let's go with you, Frank. You said it was between Seth and Edge.
My number 1, yeah.
So let's go with B Detroit. What is your number 2?
Well, I didn't say my number 2.
Oh, what? Sorry, what was your number 2?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt me. I was going to say it was going to be my number 1. No, I would just say my number 2 is actually going to be Edge's second cash-in when he beat Mr. Kennedy on Raw to get the briefcase, jumped to SmackDown, and cash in on Undertaker after he had this crazy cage match with Batista. It was like Edge getting back to the main event after he had done the tag run with Randy and everything like that. So I thought that was a cool moment as well. Kind of reestablished him as the ultimate opportunist, like he usually call himself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like we've probably covered all of them. Is there what else do people have on their list that we haven't covered? B
My
Detroit,
number
is there anything there?
Yeah, my number 2 was actually Dolph's and Seth's cash-in. So
You did a little joint one, a little cheeky thing.
There's only 2 cash-ins I had on my list, so I just put them together,
All right. Anyone else? What was your number 2 and 1? Anything we haven't talked about? And then we can quickly have you run through your list just so we set it in stone.
My 1 and 2, 2 being Dolph Ziggler's cash in, was the one thing I don't think we said about that one was Dolph was one of those wrestlers that I think everyone really saw the potential of. He's super athletic. You can tell he really loves this business, and he was never given a really true push. And to put the Money in the Bank with him and have him win that title after Mania, when it's the hottest crowd, it's the hottest moment. was just awesome. I'm not a big social media guy, but it caused me in that moment to put a picture up of Dolph Ziggler on my Instagram and just say something like the tag of he did it sort of thing, because you knew it was a genuine moment. Now, they obviously didn't follow up with that very well, and injuries and all that sort of gear. And Dolph's still in it today, and he's still a great performer. But that was my number 2. And yeah, number 1, I think, was the Seth Rollins cash-in. And that moment right at the end of the show where, as you said, Davey, it was an excellent match. WrestleMania main event. They've never done anything like that before, and they cash it in. It was a complete surprise. Seth's music sounds awesome, just coming out of nowhere with that beat. It was just amazing. After, crazy match. Seth holding up the title as the fireworks go off as a surprise at the end. I don't know if any of you guys are big MMA fans, but there's a video of Daniel Cormier, the former light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the UFC, in the crowd in the nosebleeds up in the stadium, predicting it coming moments before it happened and going crazy over his boy Seth winning it. So that made it an extra special that a legitimate combat athlete got crazy and turned into a little kid and got so excited about a moment like that. But yeah, those are my 2 and 1.
All right, well, let's quickly run through them. I went number 5, Carmella's cash-in. Number 4, the entrances for Cena and Punk. Number 3, Edge's cash-in, the first Money in the Bank cash-in. Number 2, Dolph Ziggler's cash-in, the Raw After Mania. And number 1, Seth Rollins. Cino, let's hear yours.
Sure. So my number 5 was the Brock Lesnar Boombox Brock Party. Number 4 was Edge cashed in against Cena in New Year's Revolution, the first time it's ever been cashed in. Number 3 was Ziggler cashing in against Del Rio the night after Mania in 2013. Number 2 was Rob Van Dam against John Cena. I mean, you guys said everything about that match. It just felt so special. The only way I can compare it to is like Superman walking into Professor X's academy full of mutants, because that's what it felt like to me. It felt like it was just like, you're not supposed to be here and everybody hates you. And then number 1 was CM Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. That whole Summer of Punk thing feels so special to me. That was like, honestly, I mean, hate to get emotional, but before like I met you guys, that was like my last time I was really going to shows with friends, going to bars and having a beer and just watching a game. It just has a special moment, and like Jared said, the fact that he put up the picture of the belt in the fridge and then just blowing the kiss and everything about that, it felt like a movie. It was already the closest thing to an actual like scripted wrestling movie that I could think of. So that's the number 1 spot in my heart was CM Punk and Cena.
All right, Chris, your top 5. 5 to 1.
So I've got number 5, last year's Money in the Bank reveal for the women, with Asuka being given the title and Becky announcing she was pregnant. 4, I've got the RVD cash-in on Cena at One Night Stand 2. Number 3, I've got the Edge original cash-in at New Year's Revolution on Cena. Number 2, Rollins is cash-in on Brock to make the triple threat match main event at WrestleMania 31. And number 1, I've also got the Cena Punk WWE title match from Money in the Bank 2011.
All right, B Detroit.
All right, so my number 5 was Shelton Benjamin's ladder bridge jump. Number 4 was Ric Flair taking that superplex from Matt Hardy off the ladder. Number 3 was John Cena versus CM Punk in 2011. Number 2 was Dolph's cash-in and Seth Rollins cash-in. And my number 1 is Jeff Hardy jumping off the ladder downtown in my city with me in the 300s up against the wall, had the worst seats in the house. But I can see Jeff Hardy jumping off that ladder, killing Edge. That was my favorite moment because I was in the building. The winner of that Money in the Bank didn't make me happy, but just see that moment, I was fine. I could have died right there.
And Jared, your top 5.
The Money in the Bank match in the 2010 Money in the Bank pay-per-view is my number 5. Number 4, Edge winning at the 2005 WrestleMania 21, the first ever Money in the Bank. Number 3, John Cena versus CM Punk 2011. Everything about the before, during, and after the match. Number 2, Dolph's cash-in in 2013. And number 1 is Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31, cash-in main event of WrestleMania, going out as the champion.
And finally, Frank.
Sure. My number 5 was also a Shelton, basically a collection of Shelton spot, like his Spider-Man spot, his T-bone off the top of the ladder, all that great stuff he did. My number 4 was the Christian Randy Orton match in 2011 with the crazy finish. He got himself, when Randy got DQ'd and lost the title. My number 3 was the first CM Punk cash-in 2008 on Edge on Raw. My number 2 was Edge's second cash-in on The Undertaker and SmackDown in 2007. And 1, like I said, it was a tie. It was Edge's first cash-in / Rollins and WrestleMania in
31.
San Jose.
Yeah.
Well, guys, all those Money in the Bank moments, they're really memorable.
They're great.
They're really good.
They really are.
But guys,
We don't care.
we don't give a shit.
We really don't give a shit about any of this.
You see, Money in the Bank was always so last second. You didn't know it was coming. You didn't know when a cash-in could happen. But unfortunately, for anyone else who didn't accept our invite, well, we'd like you people in our Zoom chat to maybe turn the volume up on your Twitch stream. And everyone watching on the Twitch stream, well, please take a look at this. Roll the footage, monkeys.
The following contest is a BDE in the Bank ladder match. The first person to climb the ladder and grab the briefcase will be Mr. BDE in the Bank and get their shot for the BDE Championship against Braden Harrington at Up Next Summer.
Yeah, gotta show me the money. Whatever. Yeah. Come on.
Well, wow.
What is going on?
Well, I don't know what to say, but what these to me look like a bunch of ladders, David.
They do. We've got 5 ladders and five briefcases hanging high above us in the BDE right now.
Interesting. You see, we had a Royal Rumble.
We did.
And the winner went on to WrestleMania and lost. But we got something called Up Next Summer. And well, I need an opponent.
You do. You haven't defended that title for a while.
So we did a little bit of a reverse cash-in, and we cashed in on you, our world champ patrons of Up Next, and we decided to trick you into coming onto this game, and the winner of this, yes, gets a slot at Up Next Summer for me. The title, the champion.
We just got booked into a shoot, brother.
You got booked into a shoot.
Into a shoot.
That's exactly what happened. And well, so it looks like it kind of backfired because Frank just went off on all these little things that I wrote questions for this show.
Well, let's see. I mean, we didn't give them the chance to do any training.
No.
So we gave you a quick 45-minute training session just then.
We let you do your research. We let you start looking up your Money in the Bank trivia so we could prepare you for this. We put you through the PC. All right? Well, I guess you should explain how this works.
So the way this is going to work is, as you can see, there are 7 rungs on those ladders with the BDE in the Bank briefcase hanging above. To win, all you have to do is get 8 questions correct. And you can keep climbing. If you get one question right, you can answer another question, but as soon as you get one wrong, you're going to fall down a rung. And that gives the opportunity for someone else to take over and start to climb. And, well, how we're going to do that is by giving you all a little sound effect of your choice. So I want you to come up with a noise, and this is how you're going to buzz in to try and answer the question and try to steal and start to climb the ladder. And if you get it wrong, it then just goes back in the clockwise order we got going on. So I hope you've had a little think in this 30 seconds I've just sprung on you of a little sound you could use. It could be a catchphrase. It could be like a "if you smell" or whatever you like. Chris Elliott, do you have your buzzer sound?
Chris?
Chris, I love it. Sino, let's hear yours.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Okay. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Be Detroit.
Bang bang.
Bang bang.
That works.
Okay.
Yep.
Frank.
Fine.
Fine.
I figured it'd be fire for Fire Frank, but it's fine, Frank.
And Jared.
Aussie.
Aussie. Okay, well, to start, to determine who can start to climb the first, the very first Money in the Bank match, I believe, took place at WrestleMania 21.
Yes.
The nearest two gets to start. What was the attendance for that event? Let's start with you, Chris.
I mean, surely this is a disadvantage for me. It
was WrestleMania 21, Staples Center?
Yeah.
18,500.
18,500. Okay.
What
Zeno. Is he there?
You're on mute.
Sorry. 23,000.
23,000.
Oh, for a Staples Center?
Okay.
Seems like a lot of people. I don't know.
All right. Who's next?
B Detroit.
I'm gonna go 17,000.
Seems
Ooh,
like a
going
safe
low.
bet. Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah. What about you, Frank?
I was gonna say a good even 20,000. Even though I know it's probably
for
not the answer.
Staples Center? I've never been there, but interesting. And Jared.
Well, it's WWE. We
the
don't
number
like to buy.
game. 19,000.
19,000?
19,000. The correct attendance was 20,193. I believe Frank said 20,000.
Holy shit.
So,
dude.
Frank, you get to start climbing first.
Oh
and I
my
believe
goodness.
Braden has a question for you.
Oh boy.
Frank, I wrote questions today, and I wrote questions for everybody and questions for Frank.
A reputation has preceded me.
And whoever pisses me off gets questions from Frank for Frank. But maybe I'll start easy for you, Frank. Frank, in 2014, who won the Money in the Bank?
2014 would actually be Seth Rollins.
True. Sorry. Yes, give him the point.
Correct.
Give him the point.
Okay, you're on the first rung of the ladder, Frank. So we get to give you another question. See if you get onto the second rung.
Yeah, Frank. I need to give him a hard one. Frank, how many days did Edge hold that briefcase?
Oh,
God.
How many days? Okay. I don't know, man. He held it from April to January, so 240. I don't know.
Wow. 280 days. Looks like Frank's knocked off the ladder.
That was rough. That was rough.
Took a bump already.
He took in a bump off the second rung.
Yeah, that's a Great Khali bump there, isn't it? Like, just steps off the first rung. All right, you're back on the floor. Okay, so let's go to Jared, as I've got you kind of next on the little order here.
Jared.
Bring it.
Are you ready, Jared? Jared, we talked about some cash-ins earlier. Who did Jack Swagger cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on?
Oh, damn. I know it was the World Heavyweight title. It was the big gold belt.
It was. Who did
I
Jack
should really know this.
Swagger? Jake Hager, former world champion, because he cashed in on... If he doesn't know it, he can't even climb up one rung of the ladder, which means we should send it over to the next person who needs to climb and see if they know the answer.
Mark Henry.
Oh, it's not Mark Henry.
Okay, that means there's a chance for a steal.
Chris.
Whoever buzzes.
Fine.
I heard Chris.
Fine, I heard a fine.
Oh, I heard Chris.
Oh, did you hear a Chris? Let's
Go
go
ahead,
to
Chris.
Chris, because
Chris
fine
got it.
already had a go.
It was Jake Hager's Inner Circle mate, Chris Jericho.
This
Oh,
is true.
okay, you're on the first rung of the
This is
ladder.
true.
So I'm going to ask Chris another question here to see if he can move up the ladder. At Money in the Bank 2012, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan fought in what kind of match?
A submission match?
Ooh, it was not.
It was not. Is anyone going to try and steal this?
What kind of match was Daniel Bryan and CM Punk in 2012? I can tell you.
All right, that's too long. What was it, Braden?
CM Punk and Daniel Bryan fought in a no DQ match, but I'll give a free question here for whoever wants to buzz in. Who was the ref?
Fine.
Frank, who was the ref?
It was AJ.
That's right. Frank is climbing the ladder.
Okay, we get another.
AJ Lee. AJ Lee. That is not
AJ
AJ
Lee,
Styles.
yeah, no, not AJ Styles. Frank, I guess I have to ask you another question. Frank, in 2013, who cashed in their Money in the Bank briefcase but failed?
Damien Sandow.
All right. You can climb up that
He's
ladder.
on the second rung.
You can climb up that ladder. Frank, to make his briefcase a bit different, what did Damien Sandow do to it?
Actually, Cody threw it in the river, so he had to get a new one, and he made it like leather, but it looked like a chocolate bar.
He is correct,
That
and
is
went
correct.
way beyond what the question asked.
Good luck at SummerSlam, Braden.
Yeah, I got to book this so he loses. That's why I wrote these Frank questions.
No, he doesn't.
So Frank's on the second rung.
He's on the third rung.
He's on the third rung.
Yeah.
That means I got to ask him a Frank question, which means, hey, Frank, I asked you about Edge's days holding the briefcase. Well, in actuality, someone else has held their briefcase longer than him. Who was it?
That would be Seth Rollins.
That would be incorrect.
Oh, you go down a rung. Is anyone going to try and steal here?
I gotta guess.
Does anyone know?
Okay,
who's
if
held-
not, we're going to go to Cino because he hasn't been had a go yet.
Okay, Sino, are you ready to climb this ladder?
Let's go.
Was the correct answer? Can I have a guess at that?
Yeah.
Was it Dolph?
No, it was not.
Huh.
I'm going to keep that question for
Okay.
later.
Cino, it's your go to try and climb.
Sino, I have a question for you. In 2013, Randy Orton cashed in on who?
In what year? 2013.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan.
that is
That
correct.
is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sino's climbing the rung. He's going up.
He's on the first rung.
Oh,
yeah.
he's on the first rung. Okay, Sino.
Give him another.
Sino, I got a first question for you. What was the main event of the first Money in the Bank event?
Ooh, the first Money in the Bank events. That was 2010.
Was.
Fuck, I'm just gonna guess Cena versus Orton because they always fight. I don't know. That's wrong though.
I mean, you got one of them right. That's always a good guess. 2010, Cena versus Orton.
Yeah.
But it's Cena versus someone. I will say that you were right on that.
Is anyone going to try and steal?
Fine.
Okay, Frank.
It was Cena against Sheamus.
That is correct.
Oh.
Frank is back on the ladder. Frank just keeps going up this ladder.
Yeah.
God damn it, Frank. You're tough. Frank, the same event in 2010. Clearly, you know it really well. Who walked out as tag team champions?
In 2010?
Yeah, that same event. The first Money in the Bank. The main event was Cena, Sheamus. But who walked out as champs that night?
Tag team champs. That would be.
Gonna have to push you.
Someone's gonna have to push.
Hart Dynasty? Hart
It
Dynasty?
was the Hart Dynasty.
Wow.
How did you know that?
Dude,
Okay.
I had that
'Cause I
in the
was
back.
trying to remember the year.
All right, I've got one for you, Frank. Here, let's see if. How do you know your divas? At Money in the Bank 2011, who did Kelly defeat to retain the Divas title?
Ooh. That's a good one. 2011. Oh, boy.
At this point, you could do your sounds. if
Gonna
he's
open
not-
up to a steal, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Good luck.
Chris,
Yes, Chris. Who did Kelly beat?
was it Summer Rae?
It was not Summer Rae. Let's go to B Detroit, who hasn't had a go really yet.
That was
So
it.
B Detroit, let's ask him let's find a nice one.
B. Detroit.
Let's get someone on the ladder here.
Yeah, I'll help you out here, B Detroit. I asked a question earlier. 2014, Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank, the briefcase. You don't have to name everyone else in the match, but just name me 2 other people in that match.
2014.
Yeah, it was the match Seth won.
That's a wild time. Anybody could be in that match.
You're not far off there. Someone made a return.
Shit. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have no idea.
If it was Frank, I would ask for all the other.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Frank would have known.
Let's open up for a steal here.
Bonjour.
Okay.
All right.
You said 2014?
Yeah.
So you said a return. I'm going to guess Rob Van Dam. And another person, I'll say Dean Ambrose.
That is correct.
Okay.
One of a
Cino's
kind.
on the run.
Yeah, that's right. And then, John, you clearly love Money in the Bank 2014 because you remembered RVD came back. I mentioned Cena was in the main event of 2014, but what did he win at the end of the night?
What did he win?
Yeah. What did he win at Money in the Bank? Yeah.
Like a title, or do I gotta be specific? Where's it not a title at all?
It could be a lot of things. He could have won your respect. He could have won over the WWE Universe.
He won his job.
He won his job.
Yeah.
Well, no. He unfortunately beat a young up-and-comer named Vacant for the WWE title in a ladder match that happened at Money in the Bank. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah, no, it was they made the match for the title
I
instead.
didn't remember that at all.
Let's go to Jared. We really need to get someone on this ladder
Yeah.
here. Let's go to Jared and okay, have you got a nice one there for
Yeah,
Jared?
for Jared, I got one for Jared. Jared, we kind of talked about it earlier, but in 2019, who won the men's Money in the Bank?
2019.
2019, Money in the Bank. Was it the last one before COVID era?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Who was the men's winner of Money
So
in the Bank?
I know it wasn't Otis, because that was last year's, but 2019 was...
I feel like someone could steal this.
Yeah, let's open up for a steal.
Chris,
Bonjour.
Chris.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Was Brock Lesnar.
Chris is climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Can he
Of course I
justify
remember
his
that.
loss at WrestleMania? Chris, you mentioned Brock won that match. Who was it he knocked off the ladder to grab the briefcase?
Ali.
That is also correct. Chris is climbing this ladder. How many rungs is he up?
He's on the second rung.
How many rungs is there?
There's 8.
There's 8. Oh, there's 8.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'll give him the actual question I had. What was the nickname people gave Brock when he held the Money in the Bank briefcase? He walked around with it.
It was the boom box. Yeah, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't remember.
He's really close, but someone's about to steal it.
Bonjour.
Yeah,
Bonjour.
Lesnar.
Bonjour.
I think. Oh.
I don't know what
I
happened.
think someone got in before Bonjour, but I think John was louder with Bonjour. Who else said something?
I know the answer.
All right,
All
let's
right, Bonjour,
go
no
to
one's fighting
Cino.
for it.
No one else is
Was
arguing.
it Beast in the Bank?
Oh, true.
It was. Boombox Brock.
Chris falls down a rock.
Boombox Brock also would have just sufficed, honestly. But yeah.
All right, let's go back to Sino with another question.
Sino, at that same event in 2019, who walked out the U.S. champ?
Ooh.
Jesus.
2019. Kevin Owens?
It was Rey Mysterio. He beat Samoa Joe in a minute, apparently. I don't remember this.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Who did?
Ray.
Ray
Beat
beats.
the general manager of NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Assistant general manager.
Okay, let's go down to B Detroit again.
B Detroit, I have some questions for you. I got the perfect question for you, B Detroit. In the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, the one you love so much, there was 6 people in the match. However, someone was in Christian's corner. Who was it?
In Christian's corner.
He interfered in the match a bit, but he was Christian's. He was in Christian's corner. He was helping.
What was his fucking name?
That's
the
exactly
giant guy.
What is this?
I'm going to hate it because I'm looking at his face in my head. But I can't think of his
you can see
fucking
his face,
name.
can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, giant black guy.
No,
not him.
Guy. No, giant white guy.
Tyson Tomko?
Tyson Tomko.
Oh, there we go. You're on the first rung.
Nice hit.
All right, B Detroit. All right. You love to remember your managers so fondly. So in 2008, at WrestleMania 25, in the Money in the Bank ladder match, who was in Mark Henry's corner?
What? It's not Teddy Long.
It's not Teddy. The SmackDown GM was in.
Oh yeah, damn! It's 2008.
Room for a steal.
I have no idea.
Steal. Anyone
Fine.
want to steal?
Okay,
Fine.
that was Frank. Yep.
Tony Atlas
That is correct.
Oh,
okay.
all right.
when he was in ECW.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
When he
that.
was ECW, yeah.
Yeah, with Tony Atlas with this cut off suit. Yeah.
I'm laughing.
Okay. So Frank's climbing the
So
ladder.
Frank's climbing the ladder. Frank, I'm gonna. You seem to. The divas seemed to stump you last time, so
He loves to do this.
I'm just gonna ask you again. At Money in the Bank 2011, who did Kelly Kelly defeat to retain the divas title?
Oh, geez, you asked me that again. I didn't cheat and look it up, so. Well, I know it wasn't Beth because that was SummerSlam. So my go-to answer, which Cena will know, was Alicia Fox.
It is not Alicia Fox. Does anyone
don't
want
think
to
it
try and
was.
steal?
Bonjour.
Go for it.
Eve Torres?
It was not Eve Torres. No. Let's go to Jared now.
Jared, you're trying to climb this ladder, all right?
I gotta get on there.
I got a question for you, Jared. In 2006, Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank. Who did he take the title from?
John Cena.
Okay. Who did John Cena just beat in a match?
Batista.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Does anyone want to steal?
Chris, it was an Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, but I asked who did
You want to know? You want to know 5?
Just the final person.
Oh shit! It's one of 2. It's either Masters or Carlito.
Fuck, I just wrote down all of them. So I feel like I'll give it to him.
Okay, he's got 2. All right.
It is one of
Moves
those
up the
guys.
ladder.
I think it's Carlito gets rid of Masters and then he gets Carlito.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. All right, so Chris is climbing. Chris is climbing up the ladder. Hey, Edge cashed in that night at New Year's Resolution 2006, but who did he fight earlier in the night?
Ric Flair.
Ooh, that is correct.
You're on the 3rd rung now, Chris, and you keep going.
That was the infamous Edge doing the Ric Flair, like, mocking his angry DUI driving or
Oh,
something.
yes. Didn't we watch that?
Yeah.
He did that
Probably.
for something.
Yeah.
Chris, at Money in the Bank 2011, who did Kelly Kelly defeat to retain the Divas title?
You asshole.
Layla.
It was not Layla, I'm afraid. I'm going to, because you guys aren't doing too well here,
Yeah.
I'm going to remove the you fall down a rung rule. You're just going to stick where you are. But Chris, I announced that after I just had you fall down a rung. So let's, who hasn't gone for a while? Let's go to, I think it's
Detroit.
B Detroit, yeah.
B Detroit, 2019, Money in the Bank. Who walked out Cruiserweight champion? 2019. Who walked out?
2019.
Yeah, he won his match. He's the Cruiserweight champion. He may have won it. He may have retained.
Was it Buddy Murphy?
It was not Buddy Murphy.
Anyone want to steal?
No one
Right.
was. No one
Fine.
cared about the.
Fine.
Oh,
Frank.
Drew Gulak?
It was not Drew Gulak.
Oh,
No.
anyone else want to
The
steal?
Aussie.
Chris,
Chris?
was it Neville?
It was in 2019? No, it was not.
Oh shit, no, of course not.
Jared, do you want to go?
I'm gonna randomly say Tony Nese.
It was.
Tony Nese.
I could have figured it out. Just I'm like, okay, he was
he
in
won it at
WrestleMania,
WrestleMania.
and
Yeah.
it was after that. But yeah, Tony Nese.
Just name a 205 guy.
Oh, you tricked me because you said I acted like it was a new champion.
I know everyone loves Tony Nese. Okay.
All right, you're on the first rung,
That
Jared.
was my strategy. You start naming off 205 guys, and eventually I'll get
Yeah.
there, hopefully.
Yeah.
Jared, who cashed in Money in the Bank in 2017?
Randy Orton.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I read the wrong question. I apologize. Who won Money in the Bank? Sorry. I'm messing up my own questions now. Who cashed in their Money in the Bank in 2007? Who cashed in 2007? They cashed in their Money in the
Punk?
Bank. It is not Punk.
Chris,
Chris?
was it Edge?
That is correct. It was a bit of a
Top
trick
five.
question because Kennedy
It
won
was
the
the one that
briefcase.
Kennedy won.
Right, okay.
Chris,
That was my number 2 moment.
it seems like Chris is going up this ladder. Chris, Edge took that briefcase and he went to cash in on the Undertaker, but how did that happen?
Taker had just had a cage match with Batista.
But what
And
happened
got-
after that?
He then got, was it Mark Henry came out and destroyed him or something?
It was Mark Henry.
Ooh.
As
Good call,
Chris
Chris.
climbs the ladder to
Chris
success.
was listening to me earlier.
That's
Yeah.
right, you gotta be listening. That's right. Well, I guess I have to go back to Chris then. Chris, in 2014, Money in the Bank, the brothers of not Destruction, of something, Stardust and Goldust beat who? Stardust and Goldust,
Yeah, I think
they
I
beat
know.
a team in this pay-per-view. Who was the team?
The New Day?
It was not the New Day. No.
Anyone want to steal?
Of the Aussie.
Oh,
Oh, go for it.
Was it the Shield?
it was not.
Oh, it wasn't the Shield.
I was hoping someone would catch what I was doing and try that, but it was not.
Anyone else
Close
want to
though.
steal?
Close.
Bang bang.
Yes, be
All right,
Detroit.
let's go for it.
Was it the Usos?
It was not.
Ah.
I'm fucking everyone up with this.
Fine.
Frank,
Fine. I'm just gonna take a guess. Was it Rybaxel?
You're really good at taking guesses.
Was it Rybaxel?
Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Rybaxel?
Dude, I
That was their team there.
Right back
Nice.
so years.
Who the hell is Ryan Baxel?
Can't even remember that.
Ryback who? And Curtis Axel who?
Can I take a guess? I'll remember their ship name as well.
Yeah,
What
they're
the-
tag team.
I should have done that because I probably would have stumped.
Frank, at Money in the Bank 2011, who did Kelly to defeat to retain the Divas title?
Brie Bella.
Oh, he got it.
You got it.
That was my next guess after
Right.
Alicia
All
Fox.
right.
Wow.
All right,
We were,
Frank.
Casino got me on this the other day when we were trying to figure out who all the champions were. He'll tell you.
All right, well, I'll try to stump you here, Frank, because you're climbing that ladder too quickly and it's scaring me. So,
So we need to get the other boys on there.
Frank, how many days did Seth Rollins hold his briefcase for?
You can have 3 days either side.
No, you absolutely cannot.
Okay, 1 day either side.
Seth Rollins held the briefcase for how many days?
Cena and B Detroit are like,
no,
where is
cheating.
it?
250. I don't know. 250.
250 is not correct.
Anyone want to steal?
What was?
Chris, go for
Chris.
it.
235.
It was not 235. Good guess though.
Cena giving a look like 235. Go on, Cena, have a go.
Yeah.
Nah,
We
you
can
can
skip,
skip.
we can skip the question, which
All right.
means we'll go to someone else.
Yeah, let's go to
Yeah.
Cena. He's next.
Cena, you're next here. Cena, in 2011, who did Del Rio cash in on?
Del Rio, 2011, he cashed in on Punk.
That is correct.
Well done.
Cena, how did that happen?
Kevin Nash came in and powerbombed.
Simply put, you got the answer. That sounds like a fake answer.
Cena, but why did that happen?
I would also have accepted, no, Punk had to face Cena in a title match, unification, with Triple H as the ref, and Cena loses, Punk wins, and it's like, and then Kevin Nash comes out for no reason. And
Very odd. Very
what
odd.
the fuck? Okay, Cena, who walked in Money in the Bank 2016 as WWE champion?
Who walked in like the pay-per-view as champion?
Yeah. Going into the show, he was WWE champ.
John Cena.
That is not correct. Would anyone like
Fine.
to steal?
Fine. It was Roman Reigns.
That is correct.
Oh, he's getting very
Frank
close.
is very
He's two
close.
away.
That means I
Guys,
gotta
I
ask
just
Frank hard questions
My
again.
laptop's gonna die soon, so yeah, I'm trying to get this briefcase.
Frank, I don't want you to win just yet, so I'm gonna ask you something hard.
Oh God, why you do this to me? But I was a nice guy.
I'm trying to look for hard ones now. Frank, Frank, in 2016 Money in the Bank, Charlotte had a tag team partner to face Becky and Natalya. Who was it?
Charlotte had tagged Bailey.
No, I'm sorry. That was not correct.
Charlotte had a partner to face.
Becky and Natty.
What
Natalya.
year?
2016.
Huh.
Anyone
want to
steal
guess?
that?
That was wrong. I don't know why he said Bailey.
Bang bang.
Go for it.
Nikki Bella.
Was it Nikki Bella?
No, it was not.
What?
Charlotte teamed with this person to face Natty and
Becky.
Becky.
Money in the Bank 2016.
Dana Brooke.
100% right.
Yes.
You climb. Are you doing the Brock
Oh,
spot?
I'm doing the Brock.
No. There's a new ladder in your picture.
Let's go back to you, B, though, because you tried to steal there reluctantly.
yeah, let's
so
go to you,
let's
B.
try and get you on the ladder.
I'm terrible. I'm just outside of the ring this whole match.
Yeah.
B, we mentioned. Let's see here. Let's see. B, I have a question for you. Damn, I have a lot still, but I'm trying to make sure. Because the steals is where we'll get screwed over here. Because if I ask too hard and B doesn't know, that means Frank cashes in and wins.
That's true. That's true.
We gotta get B some points here because B's got to get on the ladder.
I've got one. I think
B will know.
I think he'll know.
Help him
I think
out.
he'll know. At Money in the Bank 2013, who did AJ Lee face for the Divas Championship?
Oh, this is the one you thought I would know, huh, Davey? Okay. So, I have no fucking idea. So,
what's the question?
Who did AJ Lee face in 2013 at Money in the Bank? It could be anybody.
They had a bit of a rivalry around this time, like a proper rivalry.
Who was around? I have no idea. I don't know.
Bonjour.
Go for it.
Caitlyn.
It was Caitlyn.
There we go.
Yes.
Cino is up on the ladder.
Cino's moving up that ladder.
Hey, Cino.
Yeah, I totally remember Caitlyn. Yeah.
Cino's on the ladder now.
Yeah.
Sino, I have a question for you. Carmella, she won Money in the Bank. She won it the first time in some controversial fashion. How did she win it the second time?
The second time, James Ellsworth helped out. No,
Yeah.
he gave her the briefcase.
You're being cheeky, yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a little bit of a dick. That was the first
That was
one.
the
Aussie,
first
Aussie,
one.
Aussie.
Yeah, go for
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Jared.
Did she just win it clean?
Yeah, I mean, Ellsworth
clean as you
yeah,
can
Yeah,
in a
as
ladder
clean as you
match,
can.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The first time was with
Involved
Ellsworth,
again.
and the second time was clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mean question. All right, Jared, you're on the second rung there.
Jared,
Take off.
Jared. In 2011, who won Money in the Bank briefcase?
2011. Was that Sandow?
Chris,
Chris,
Chris?
go for it.
Jesus.
because Vince tried to get him to cash in later that night. It was Alberto Del Rio.
No.
No, bonjour.
Cena.
Oh,
It was Daniel Bryan. No.
It was Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Okay.
There was two.
Yeah, I mean, well, Daniel Bryan won the.
What was the question?
Daniel Bryan. Sorry, who won the SmackDown Money
Oh,
in the
the
Bank? I said
SmackDown
just
one.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. But
Wait,
yeah.
so were they both right?
Alberto
Yes.
Del Rio?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
They were both right.
Give them
Okay, I'll
points.
move them
yes.
both up the
I
ladder.
forgot to add
Points.
SmackDown to that
Yeah.
question. I forget that
So I
there's
think we
two.
should go back to Chris, I guess.
We can go back to Chris, but that means I'm going to give him a really hard question. Hey, Chris, how many days did Dolph Ziggler hold his briefcase?
I'm gonna go the same guess I went with earlier. 235.
That is incorrect. Would anyone like to steal this question? Okay.
Okay. Sino, you did get Daniel Bryan right, so I am going to go back to you because you did have a successful steal before. Okay. At the 2014 Money in the Bank pay-per-view, who was the special guest referee for Summer Rae versus Layla?
Summer Rae versus Layla. Was it Michelle McCool?
It was not Michelle McCool. Does anyone want to steal?
No, they do not.
Fine.
It was too late. It's
Yeah,
too late.
no, that was too late. Too late. Do you know the answer,
Screw job
Brayden?
over here.
Yeah, I wrote the question, so...
Oh, I had it in my list as well.
Fandango.
Fandango, yeah.
Let's go to B
Yeah,
Detroit.
when they were fighting over him, yeah.
Is he on the ladder yet?
B Detroit's not on the ladder. Come on, B.
B is scared of ladders. He's afraid of heights. He does not want to climb this ladder.
Just
B,
working, brother.
You're like what was it, Skrull in that ROH
In the ROH
ladder
one,
match?
yeah.
B Detroit, I have a question for you. And the question is, in 2018 Money in the Bank, what was the match that opened the show?
Was it the Wyatt family in a tag match?
No.
What? Oh my god.
It opened the show 2018. No
It's
one's
getting
gonna
bad.
steal
I
this.
have no idea.
Chris,
Chris.
Go for it.
was it the SmackDown Money in the Bank match?
It was not.
Bonjour.
Sino.
Oh, Cena.
I know this match was on the show, and I feel like it opened it. Daniel Bryan and Big Cassidy. Cass, whatever.
Correct.
Oh!
The hot feud. Daniel
I knew
Bryan
they feuded
returns to
that year.
wrestling.
He got fired like a week later, yeah.
He returns to wrestling to feud with Big Cass, and it's the blow off at Money in the Bank.
Wow.
Forgot about
Damn,
All right.
Sino's climbing that
I
ladder.
just want to give a visual to the people listening.
Yeah.
Frank is one step away from the top of the ladder. He then needs to grab that briefcase. So he's 2 questions away. Sino is 3 questions away. Chris is 3 questions away. Jared is 6 questions away. And B Detroit's in catering right now.
that. He's doing the injured spot.
Yeah.
He's going to do the Brock spot. He'll come back
Yeah.
and win the whole damn thing. That's how it goes. So who are we going to now? It's going to be Cino. I guess.
We just had Cino.
We just had Cino. Okay, let's go to. I feel bad for. Let's go to Jared. He's trying to get up
Jared's
there.
still way down there.
Jared, I'm going to ask you a question. Where was one that you? Let's see here, Jared. We talked about it earlier. In a world heavyweight title match in 2011, Christian fought Randy Orton. How did Christian win the title?
Randy got disqualified.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Jared's climbing.
Well
that
done.
ladder.
Good memory, Jared.
And again, like if people are not watching this on the Twitch and this is the podcast released like a day or two, you can't see the visual that Davey created of these little ladders and little pop-up heads climbing the ladder. It looks as if Frank's in position to do like a destroyer off Cino's back onto Chris Elliott.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets like he can try.
I think B Detroit's just holding the ladders in place right now. All right,
Wait for it. Elbow drop.
Yeah. Let's have another one for Jared. Okay.
Jared, we mentioned John Cena was the first person to fail trying to cash in Money in the Bank. Who was the last person to fail cashing in?
The last one would be Braun Strowman.
That is correct.
Oh.
Because technically, he cashed in and it was
he cashed in ahead of time
He
and he
announced
lost
it,
to
right?
Brock.
Lost.
But he didn't get it.
And Otis never tried to cash in, so his wouldn't count.
Who did Otis? Oh, he lost.
Otis lost it to Miz, who then cashed in successfully.
Okay,
yeah.
so Jared's climbing this ladder.
Jared's getting there, yeah.
Jared is climbing this ladder. Jared, my next question for you. In 2019, who won the women's Money in the Bank briefcase?
In 2019 would have been
The women's Money in the Bank.
I'm going to say Bailey.
It's Bailey.
Oh!
Ding dong. That's right. That is
Wow.
correct.
All right, Jared. I've got one for
Your
you.
boy's making a surge for the top.
Yeah, so right now, Jared, Chris, and Cino are all just one rung behind Frank.
I'm just chilling up with this ladder, man.
Jared, we got another question for you. Who did Damien Sandow face?
234 days.
You laugh. Wait till your next question. Get this one right.
Who did Damien Sandow face in a singles match at the 2014 Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
What?
We all remember this feud vividly.
2014?
Damien Sandow faced who in a singles match at 2014 Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
That's wild. No idea.
Oh,
No idea.
no idea. I'm just going to randomly choose. And say The Big Show.
No.
It was not the Big Show. Does anyone want to try and steal?
No, I don't think
It doesn't
so.
look like
All right.
it.
Well, why don't we go to B again? I feel bad for B.
Shall I give the answer or save
Oh,
that?
yeah. Yeah, give it a... Who was it?
It was Adam Rose.
Oh, yeah. Who couldn't forget?
Who couldn't forget that?
The Rose.
Absolute classic.
Yeah. Hey, B.
The authority's really screwing over Frank here, who's just been sat there for ages. But yeah, let's get B on it.
Frank is ready to do this spot off
He
the
is.
top. He's ready. He's going to be like Jeff Hardy, walking the tops.
Yeah.
Yeah. B. Detroit, in 2018, there was a Money in the Bank briefcase match. It wasn't a failed cash-in from Braun, but there was other people in that Money in the Bank ladder match. There was Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Samoa Joe, Rusev, Miz, and who?
Oh, 2018?
2018.
I think 2018.
I just named
18,
everyone in it except one person. except
Dolph?
one person. Dolph is not the right answer. No, unfortunately. Can anyone...
Chris?
Sounds about right for me.
Chris.
Was it Kalisto?
It was not Kalisto.
Oh, anyone else for a steal?
Bonjour.
Go for it.
Not Ziggler, but Bobby Roode.
It's Bobby
It
Roode.
was Bobby Roode. Oh.
Oh my God.
I should have got that one by proxy.
Level
I should.
with the two New Yorkers here.
Wow. Friends going at it on top
Yeah.
of ladders. They're
They're
destined
doing
to
the
do this
headbutt
forever.
spot now,
Wow.
yeah.
They're
Someone's-
climbing here.
Someone's definitely doing a Rana or something off this ladder. So I guess we got to go back to Cino, but he's looking too comfortable sitting next to the Frank. So I wonder if he knows how long people hold briefcases for.
Oh God.
All right. I'll ask something different. In 2018, we talked about a lot of things. It seems to be the hot show, so I'll stick to it. Who did Bobby Lashley have a match with?
In 2018,
Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Will the friendship still stand, says the crowd in the Twitch chat. Frank and Cino battling up on the ladder, and Cino does not know who Lashley fought in a match.
Sheamus.
It was not. Does anyone else know the
Chris.
answer? Chris, trying to
Was
climb
this
the
the
ladder.
was this the infamous Bobby Lashley sister storyline with Sami Zayn?
You are absolutely
That was
correct.
wow. Yeah, wow. Oh, there's three of them there. Wow.
There's three people on the ladder. Chris, I'm going to go to you here. Chris, I think I've asked it.
I got one.
You
Oh,
got a hard
yeah,
one
I've
for
got
him?
one. If
Yeah, go for it.
okay, I think this will be tough.
Okay. He's got to answer two still. There's
Two more left to get. At Money in the Bank 2013, who did the Miz challenge for the Intercontinental Championship?
What the fuck? Who did the Miz fight in
This guy's had like so many IC reigns
Yeah.
that this is a tough one.
Chris, do you know who the Miz
2013 IC
fought?
title.
Jeez. I have no idea.
Challenging. So we're looking for the champion going into this match.
I don't think Chris knows.
I'm trying to think who would
Does
be
anyone else know?
there. Not either Dolph Ziggler.
It was not Dolph Ziggler.
Bang bang.
B, go for it.
Curtis Axel.
Oh!
Climb the ladder! Go on, kid! Make yourself famous!
You know what? I'm gonna have him chase Frank over here. He's gonna do the same ladder even.
Go on!
Go on!
Woo! You're a star! By God!
All right, we gotta.
We gotta ask B some
Holy shit!
questions.
Holy shit!
B!
Oh shit.
B.
Let's
Who
go.
won Money in the Bank? No, that's too easy. B, I got a question.
Let's ask more Curtis Axel questions.
Yeah, apparently. Damn. B, there was a Money in the Bank 2020 that took place just last year, but it was pandemic era. So I had to stress that to make sure my question doesn't sound out of place. At 2020 Money in the Bank, who did Rey Mysterio bump into in the washroom?
Oh shit. Was it Doink? Like a Doink ripoff?
Chris.
It was not. Chris?
I love you.
It was Brother Love.
Oh,
Chris is climbing the ladder.
he's reaching. He's
dangling.
reaching for that
He was so
briefcase.
All right, Chris. No one's answered and told me how many days
Oh no.
Carmella's held the briefcase for.
What in total?
Carmella held a briefcase for a while. How many days?
Wait a minute though, because she's had it twice. So are you meaning in total, or are you
Yes.
like one run or another?
They were very short together, and they counted as one. I think it may even count when she got it the second time. But I would give you either answer
Okay.
because I don't
That,
think you'll
that
get
like
it.
yeah, because I'm really gonna get the answer. 260.
No, I'm sorry.
Ah.
It was close though.
Does anyone want to steal?
The only way I'd someone will get this is if they cheat. It's a perfect question to know if you were cheating, and no one knows it. So I know everyone's playing fair, but that means Chris is up the highest now. But he didn't get that one right. So should we go to? I feel like Jared's close too. I'm still scared. The ladders right now. Chris is almost grabbing it, and Frank and Sino are fighting each other while trying to stop him. So should we go
slow climbing?
Yeah. Should we go to who?
Should we go to Jared? I feel like we haven't heard
Jared
from him
might
for a
have an
while.
opportunity here to climb this. Jared, we mentioned some great matches taking place in Money in the Bank history. What about 2010, where Layla had a match against Kelly Kelly, but who was in Kelly Kelly's corner? The first ever Money in the Bank pay-per-view. How would you not remember who was in Kelly Kelly's corner?
Was it Tony Atlas?
This is a top-sprung question, man.
Sorry?
I'm gonna say Eve Torres.
Was not
Oh,
Eve Torres.
Fine.
Oh,
Fine.
Okay, go for it, Frank.
You said in what was that year again?
2010.
Was it Tiffany, aka Taryn Terrell?
He even gave her shoot name, her other company's name. He's correct.
Jeez.
Oh.
Frank is up there.
So Frank is on the top rung as well. There's a ladder between Frank and Chris, but they're both on the same rung, reaching for that briefcase, reaching to be Mr. BDE in the bank. Whew.
This means I gotta ask Frank a question.
You do.
And if he gets it right, he's gonna grab that briefcase.
I see B at the bottom of his ladder, like shaking
Shake
it.
Shake it, me.
He's getting paid back for the Infernal match.
Chris. Sorry, not Chris. It's Frank. It's Frank who's battling it out with Chris. Frank, this could potentially be the question that makes you win this match. In 2012, Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Ryback beat 2 people. Can you name both of them? Ryback.
Very tense. I had this
Ryback
question.
beat 2 people in 2012 in a match. It's tense. The room is tense.
Right, 2 people.
Beat 2 people. Does anyone else know?
Bonjour.
Go ahead,
Garcino.
And I only know it's because of Frank, because he brought up this tag team, and I thought about this match. It was the Chippendale Dancers, Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex.
It is correct.
It was indeed. Oh, it's 3 on top now. Ooh.
Cino, this
To
could be
win.
it.
To
You
win.
just
We were
stole
legit.
it.
He was legit.
We were just talking about this moment.
You just stole
We
it.
were talking about that short-lived tag team, yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
this-
to paint a picture, Chris Elliott, John Cena, and Fire Frank are all on the top rung of the ladders, reaching for the briefcase. The next one to get a correct question of those 3 win, and the ball is in Ceno's court.
Cino has an opportunity to win the whole match right now. I could ask him a question, and I'm looking for one that could be the one that could stump him, because I know he knows his stuff pretty good too. So I will say, John Cena, at 2010 Money in the Bank, who cashed in their Money in the Bank briefcase?
In 2010, Daniel Bryan.
That is not correct.
Oh.
Fire Frank.
2010, of course, and how appropriate, it was Kane.
That is
It was
correct.
Kane.
It's
We
gotta
have
be Kane.
a winner.
It's gotta be Fire Frank.
Oh,
Frank, he's grabbed the briefcase. Make yourself famous, kid. Go on. Go on, Frank.
Wow.
can I say?
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
If Chris would like to challenge me for the shot, we can make that happen. Since he was really close there, I don't know.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Frank has
didn't even mean to do that.
grabbed that net, watched that beautiful butterfly, and has grabbed the BDE in the bank. Holy shit! I'm shitting bricks.
Can I have Cino do like my promo package for me too? I need him to cut a promo for me.
I'll be your reporter. I'll be your manager. Hey, how appropriate to have Up Next Summer with the most summer fire Frank there is. Perfect main event. Perfect main eventer.
Wow. What a ladder match. And you all were climbing. Some of you were climbing. B Detroit does not like heights, we learned. Does not like ladders. But wow. That was getting down to it there.
That was, yeah. And I think you know that Frank was the deserving winner there because you were throwing him deliberate curveballs. You were there as the champion with the steel chair, smacking him off that ladder there.
He was trying to pull the Kenny when he was beating up both guys in the ring a month ago, whatever that was.
Yeah, and he still won.
Holy
so your opponent in the main event of Up Next Summer, Braden Harrington, Fire Frank, for the BDE Championship.
Wow.
I wasn't even on the card last year. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it went from just being a referee to being the champion.
The show
Will that be
stealer?
like it's like the Samoa Joe story?
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm a little nervous because trivia. This guy's got it down. Pat. This guy apparently can. Frank, you can name every WWE champion in order. Just like
that may or may not be true.
May or may not be true. He knows everything there is to know about wrestling and WWE and Money in the Bank, it seems. So
except for number of days.
Frank here has won the briefcase, and he will be facing me in the main event of Up Next Summer. To be determined soon, but there's your announcement. Up Next Summer is in fact happening. And well, one match has been officially signed, sealed, and it will deliver.
Yeah, and we've got a whole card to fill, so watch this space because more matches will be announced. And maybe some of these people, Cino, Jared, Chris Elliott. Chris, you still got that redemption story. You're still, that's still there.
Yeah.
B Detroit, I feel like I need some sort of rematch against you. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. And obviously any other world champions or North American champions who want to get involved.
Brandon from New Jersey in the chat says B Detroit brought a ladder to a rumble. He didn't know. He thought it was a rumble match and a ladder. Yeah, he wasn't sure.
I'm on the way to a local medical facility now.
Yes.
That destroyer off that ladder did so good.
That was so much fun. We thought we would try something different here and try to sneak up on some people on a match. And you guys are some of our world champ patrons, and we thank you so much for supporting with us and fucking with us and sticking with us. And we thought we'd throw a curveball of our own, a little cash in if you could, but it was a little reversed here. So we needed to book up next summer. So
we do, yeah.
This is how we did it, and that was so much fun. So thanks for coming and talking about Money in the Bank as well, but then playing this game that Davey created the graphics. Dickie Bird created a little video. You can see the video on our Twitter at Up Next Podcast. I posted it just during this game, so go check it out. And yeah, guys, thank you, Cino. We'll be talking with you. Slammiversary. Got a show with Davey coming up.
Shot in the Dark's up.
Shot in the Dark is up today. Jared, I think you're joining for Money in the Bank Watch Along. And I think he's muted.
Yeah, he's devastated.
He's heartbroken. He didn't climb the ladder. Yeah. Chris, thank you for joining us. I love your haircut too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, looking very nice.
Looking good. Yeah. Maybe you can give Frank some tips.
Well, to be fair, I think he'll do better than I did.
You did pretty good too, though. You did pretty good.
Right, and I think we're going to need to go on a bit of a training camp, to be honest.
We're gonna have you be Shane O'Mac and I'll be Vince, and I'll get some chickens and I'll chase.
Oh, that's perfect because I'm gonna bring the camera and me and Frank are gonna run around Philly and start doing some promo.
I need Frank running up those steps.
We had only known.
think he's got his work cut out for him.
I see Brandon's in the chat. Brandon, if you want, I want you to do my theme song.
Oh,
Brandon
To
singer.
rap? Oh, to sing?
Oh, he's sing him out.
He's the best singer in the group.
We couldn't get Cardi
Our
B
group
at
chat.
SummerSlam this year, but we'll have Brandon at
got
Up Next
Brandon.
Mania. Sorry, at Summer
Up next
instead.
summer. I feel like Brandon should be in a match.
Maybe, yeah. He's
Yeah.
retired, isn't he?
He retires every day, but he should come out of retirement. B
He's the
Detroit.
Terry Funk up next.
Yeah, he is. B Detroit, thank you as well for joining us, and you're always popping in on the watch-alongs and stuff. So thank you, man. We appreciate it. I now know what you're scared of. Ladders. Do you walk under a ladder? That's maybe what you did recently, and it didn't work out for you. Sorry.
Afraid of ladders, but I walk through fire.
So,
So-
Yes, he did.
well, fire ran through all of you tonight.
He's
okay?
going to turn this off and watch AJ Lee versus Caitlyn.
Me too. Tiffany, Kelly. Yeah.
Study all Kelly's feuds.
Thanks everyone for hanging out through the Twitch chat here today. If you're listening to the podcast, I think we might keep up the
Yeah,
video,
we'll keep up the video and put it on the YouTube page as well. I might just isolate it so it's just the game, and
Yeah.
then we'll have the top 5 show on the pod
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, we'll be back tonight with BD Elite at 10:15, talking all about Fighter Fest. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're listening to the pod, that's already happened. Check it out on our free feed. And yeah, Up Next Summer's just around the corner, baby.
That's it. Up Next Summer is coming. We'll have a date scheduled soon, but it will be sometime around SummerSlam and all that stuff. We will be doing a tailgate, I think, as well too during SummerSlam.
The
day.
annual SummerSlam tailgate.
Yes. So looking for all that. And of course, join the Facebook group and all the socials and stuff. We love our little community and everyone hanging out in the Twitch chat and all you guys playing the games here today. And all I can say is take care, goodbye, and fire Frank. I'll see you at Up Next Summer. And well, I'm bringing my fire hydrants. I'm bringing my water. I'm bringing everything because I'm going to pour bottles of Henny to put that fire out because I respect you. But it doesn't mean I won't piss on you and put that flame out. I'm not ready for cutting promos yet because I didn't expect you to win. But I'm a little scared that you won because you're really good at trivia. I just hope you're good at, what did I win? How did I win? Music thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, music things. It's going to happen to you,
Music
Frank.
things.
That's what's going to happen. But thank you. Money in the Bank. Fire Frank, your winner. Goodbye, everybody.
Ahoy!